carrying on with the creating the table for organizing the information, I wanted to show you how to change the width of your columns. So the first column here, room, is a little too wide. So all you need to do is if you move your cursor between the two columns, so the column divider, your cursor turns into a double-headed arrow. Just left click and hold, you'll see that a dashed vertical line appears, and drag to the left until you're happy with the width of your column. Okay, so you can play around with that. Basically what I want you to do for this assignment is to eyeball your columns so that they're approximately wide enough, or as wide as they are in the in your medicine team report sheet that you're copying. Now what I want to show you are the IV column, the lab column, and the vital column. So I'm going to start from the left side and just drag this over a little bit, and then do the same for the lab, and then do the same for the IV. Now here's what happens. You can sort of eyeball these, but if you're very particular about how your information looks, it's kind of a nifty thing to have them basically the same width. And I'm going to show you an easy way to have exactly the same width. Okay, so whoops, hang on a second there. There we go. So I'm going to move my cursor up to just above the column, and my cursor turns into a solid black down pointing arrow. I'm going to left click and hold. That selects that entire column. I'm just going to drag to the right. So I have those three columns selected. So in my layout ribbon, okay, with these three columns selected, I'm going to go to cell size, and here's a little space here where it says distribute columns. And if you click on that, what it will do is it will just adjust the width of the three columns that you have selected so that each column is as wide as the one next to it. Okay, so you can have columns that are exactly the same width if that's important to you. So I'm just going to play around with the care plan and appointments and the care plan and the diagnosis history. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make name a little bit narrower, and then I'm going to go diagnosis history, care plan and appointments, and I'm going to do the same thing, distribute the columns. So those three columns are about the same width. The last thing I'm going to show you is if you have been playing around with your margins at all, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to page layout because this is a fair amount of information. And I want as much room on my page as I can possibly have here. Let me just zoom down a little bit. There we go. I'm going to change my margins so that currently they are 1 inch all the way around. I'm going to change them so that they're narrow, 1/2 inch all the way around. So what happens here now is that it pops the table up into the top left-hand corner of the document, of the paper, and it leaves some extra space here on the right-hand side. So what you can do to spread your table evenly between the left and the right margin is have your cursor somewhere in the table, go to your table tools and the layout tab, go to auto fit and choose auto fit window, and that will incrementally spread the table between the left and the right margins, and each of the columns will become a little bit wider just to fill that information in. Okay, the last thing that I want to show you, you'll notice here that in the medicine team report sheet that this header actually appears on the second page as well. And it hasn't been retyped or copied and pasted. What has happened is with your cursor in the header itself, if you go to the layout tab, you'll notice in the data group, repeat header rows has been turned on. So what that does is that automatically takes the information in that first row and pops it into a header row on the second or subsequent pages. You'll notice that if I try to click on that row, my cursor won't go there. My cursor will only go into the row underneath, so you can't make any changes there. If you did make changes, you would have to make changes on the first row, and then they would automatically appear on subsequent pages. So that's repeat header rows. That won't work if you have a page break here. That will not work. But if you just allow the information to flow from one page to the next, that will definitely work for you. Okay, I think you have enough information that you need in order to get going with this. So I'm going to let you go. Enjoy the project.